Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Leslie Ann King, and today I want to talk about navigating long distance relationships. I was in a long distance relationship before I got married. My husband and I actually lived in different states. So I lived in Los Angeles and my husband lived in Tulsa. I now live in Tulsa. So I have a bit of experience with long distance relationships. I had another long distance relationship before that as well. And I think one of the ways to really navigate this is to make sure that you and your boyfriend have a real plan of action. I knew for a fact that I was not going to move anywhere unless I was engaged. And it wasn't like an ultimatum. It was like my own personal boundary for myself. It was like, I'm not gonna move unless someone's like really pursuing me on that level. My husband pursued me on that level. He wanted to pursue me on that level. He wanted me to be his wife. He knew pretty early on. And so because of that, I was open to moving. And that's why I live here now. And so you got to talk about that. We talked about marriage. We talked about so many things. But I imagine that if you are in a godly relationship, that the ultimate goal is marriage. Make sure that is the case. Make sure you guys are on the same page. Make sure you think through like timelines, not to be able to force his hand, not to be able to force a situation, but just to kind of like talk through where you guys see your life in the next few years. That might be able to give you a vision of where he might be leading you to. And if you know for a fact, oh, this man he told me he's looking for he's looking for a wife. He told me he's serious about relationships. Then you know that this is someone where it's not gonna just be long distance forever. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's gonna move. Also, are y'all willing to move? Is one of y'all willing to move? Because somebody gonna have to move. Like if you know for a fact that neither one of y'all are willing to move, do not be in that relationship. Does not make sense, because somebody gonna get hurt. I'm the type of person who would live in a different country, not necessarily for someone, but in general. I love to travel. I have lived in St. Louis before. I'm from New York. I lived in LA. Like I've lived on the different coasts, and I am the type of person who would be like, hey, Italy, let's try it out. I am that type of person. Are you though? Are you a person that's like open to change, or is the person you're with open to change, or like you guys are both, one of y'all are willing to just be like, you know what, sure, because I know life changes and I am just a very open person. So that's something to think about. Also, you need to make time. You cannot have a long distance relationship if you don't make time to talk to each other. Me and my husband, we spoke every day, multiple times a day. Even in the midst of our busyness, we found time to talk to each other every day. It was just like a non-negotiable, and I don't feel like we even needed to set a standard there. We just did it. We just wanted to talk to each other. So we didn't have to say, hey, I want you to call me 3 times a day. We just called each other. And of course we respected each other's like life, work schedule and all that stuff, but we made time for each other. Also, like, spice it up, make it interesting. So I was so like, I'm a romantic. And I would say my husband is too. He just shows it in a different way. We both looked up ways to make it interesting during that waiting period, right? So between the trips where we would see each other, we would do virtual dates. So like you could watch a movie on Disney. You can watch it together. We did that. I went to a restaurant and literally had my phone set up, and I was eating food while he was also at a restaurant, so it felt like we were both on a date. Even my waiter at the time was like, that's so cute. So we did different things. We didn't just stay on the phone all day. No, we literally went out to eat and just like had our phone. And I know it's cheesy, but I always think it's temporary. You know what I'm saying? Also, try to visit each other. I know if you're talking about international distances, I imagine that traveling may be very hard to do if you do not have the money to do that, especially now the flights are super ridiculous. But I would work towards saving, like have both of y'all work towards saving so that somebody can go and visit, even if it's once every, 6 months or something like that. I know like if you're international that it's very hard. But you have to have a goal, because if not, then you're just like dating a ghost. You want to make time for that person, and you have to have a deadline of like, okay, at this point, at some point this gotta end. Like, I knew I was not going to be in a long distance relationship forever. I knew that when I got married, I was not going to be long distance. I had no desire to do that. So yeah, these are some ways to navigate long distance relationships. Of course, keep God at the forefront, make sure that he's a part of it, and that he will, and pray to him so that if, you know, you guys are meant to be together, that he will give you the provision to do so. I hope you like this video. Please be sure to like and share, and thank you guys for watching. Bye guys.